our next function, f of x equals 2x cubed minus x squared plus 3x plus 2x minus 3. The question is x minus 1 a factor? That would be the same question as asking, is x equals 1 a 0? So what do we need to do? We need to check to see whether or not, after we do our synthetic division, whether or not the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0, then we've just found a 0, or we've just found a factor. What I want you to see is we can kind of go back and forth between these two ideas, between factors and zeros. Notice that there are no missing terms in this function, and the thing in the box is a positive 1 because x equals 1. Here is what we're trying to do. 2 carries down. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtracting 1 gives us a positive 1. Times a 1 is 1. Adding 2 plus 1 gives us 3. 3 times 1 is 3. And negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Well, this is good news. So what this tells me is that x equals 1 is a 0. So if you were to rearrange that, x minus 1 is a factor. So if it's a factor, what that means is I can write my original function f of x as a product of things, with this as one of the factors. What's the other factor? The other factor is what's left here. So I can write f of x as x minus 1 times that stuff that's left over, which is 2x squared plus x plus 3. If we wanted, we could try to continue factoring this second part, or we could try to find additional zeros of this function using the quadratic formula. But for now, that is where our problem stops.